Hi, I'm Nikki from Deuces.com. It's been a really long time since I've did any videos about anything. And probably, I guess it's probably been like 4 years, really. But the last 4 or 5 years of my life, I've had a really big struggle between who I am inside and who I want everyone to think that I am. I still don't have all the answers. I still don't know everything, but I know one thing about. Oh, actually, it's been like 5 years. Right about now, like 5 years. I started feeling a certain way for a girl, which had never happened that way before. Like, I had crushes, but it was never like something that could really happen. It was just kind of like, oh, she's pretty, like, and maybe like I might think things about it, like, but I don't know, where until I was kind of confronted with a situation where either you go with it or you like leave. It was always like, I was always like anti-gay. Like, I was actually really fucked up a long time ago. And I think part of it was because I was afraid, because even when I was younger, I kind of like, I knew that maybe I was more drawn to females than I was to guys, but I just kind of tried to ignore it. And even like my mom was like, oh, it's, girls do that, it's normal, you'll grow out of it, whatever. But it never crossed my mind that I was actually gay or lesbian or whatever you want to label it. It never, like, I don't know, it was like it wasn't an option, so it never even occurred to me. Like, even though, like, when I was younger, I used to, like, my brother had porno magazines, so I used to kind of go, and it wasn't that I was like, oh, I want to, like, do her or whatever, because I was too young for that, but it was just, like, I always felt like they were more attractive. They always just, like, I don't know, it felt more, like, natural, I guess, to me than my cousin, who was, like, a couple years younger than me. Her mom had, like, guy magazines, like, naked guys and stuff. I guess Playgirls, I think. And she would show me that, and I was always like, ew, that's nasty. Like, that's gross. So, and, like, I always had crushes on girls in school, but I never acted on it just because I was like, that's not what you do. It's not okay. Like, I'm just weird. And even, like, I had talked to my mom about it when I was younger, and she was just like, well, you don't do anything. You just, ignore it. It'll go away. So that's what I did. So until I was probably about, like, I was 25, and I started talking to someone, and at the time I was married to a guy. I started talking to someone who I actually met in church, ironic. But, I don't know, things just kind of, like, I felt like more at home. Like, I just felt like more I could be myself. I didn't have to, like, constantly edit my thoughts or who I was or what I was saying or anything about myself. I could just be me. And I felt more, like, connected to her than I think that I've ever been to anybody in my life in that way. Like, it's not just about conversation. It's not just a sexual thing. It's hard to explain, because it's like, I know a lot of people think a million different things about it, and there's a lot of people that have positive things and a lot of people that have negative things. So I come from where it's 100% not okay. You can't be, you can't live that lifestyle because, to them it's a choice. You're choosing to be bad or whatever. That is just unacceptable. Like, there's no, we love you, but it's just do it and you're done. I don't know how else to explain it without being, like, fucked up towards them, because I'm not making this video to insult anybody or their belief systems, because I know I grew up religiously, and I don't want to insult anyone that believes those things. And I have religious beliefs. I'm not going to get into those in this video or anything like that. But when I first started liking her, though, it was really hard for me. Like, I remember spending, like, so much time. Like, I used to, like, cry. Like, and my husband was around a lot, and I would just, like, he would, like, because I never wanted to have sex. Like, he would get really mad, and I just wouldn't. I don't know. I just felt like I couldn't respond. Like, and there's certain things that happen sexually that just I couldn't do anything like with a guy. Like, I've never gone down on a guy. I've never like, I can't honestly, like, a lot of times, like, I know chicks are like, I need the lights off. For me, it was like, yeah, because I don't want to see that. Like, I can be intimate with a guy to a certain point, but it's like, as soon as I'm done, I'm like, okay, I need to go, like, disinfect, like, everything and maybe throw up. And that's one thing that my mom used to always tell me. She's like, it's not normal that you, like, that it makes you, like, throw up. Like, it would just be so gross that I just would immediately have to, like, vomit. And I felt bad because I'm just like, I'm not trying to say, like, anything against you. It's just, I don't know why I feel that way or why I feel so disgusted. Like, I didn't actually find him disgusting. And I mean, there was things about being with a guy that I could be to a certain point, but it was like, I never really felt comfortable. I never really felt, like, open even within myself. Like, I just kind of felt like I was going through the motions because it was what I was supposed to do, not because it was what I, actually should be doing for myself. I spent a lot of time just, like, miserable and crying and, like, freaking out, like, why the fuck is this happening to me? Like, why do I like a girl? Like, this isn't normal. I'm gonna go to hell. Why me, basically. I mean, and that's, in retrospect, that seems really stupid, but in the moment, it's like, this can't happen to me. It just can't. Like, it never crossed my mind that I ever was, like, into girls, even though, like, in high school, there was so many girls that I was like, oh, I want to, like, do shit to her. There was one girl in particular that she was a little bit more, she wasn't, like, butch, but she had a long, like, ponytail in the back, but, like, everything else about her, she kind of wore, like, more relaxed clothes, a little bit more, like, on the guyish side, but still, feminine to a degree. But I remember, like, forever, like, oh my god, I just wanted to, like, be with her. Like, not necessarily fucking, but, like, kiss her, touch her, like, hold her hand, like, touch her hair, whatever. Like, have a conversation. Like, I was too scared to ever even talk to her. Like, and I wouldn't have approached her in that way just out of fear, and partly because I was like, oh, I'm just weird. Like, I shouldn't feel that way. Like, whatever. I feel that way about her, but it'll go away. So I was just like, just ignore it, and it'll stop. And, like, off and on, it kind of did, like, because I could see a guy and find them attractive, but then, like, once it got to where we were really, like, talking or dating or whatever, it was like, I would just kind of drop off, like, okay, I'm over this, like, before we would get to anything sexual or whatever, because most of the time, it was almost impossible for me to get to that point. And even then, it was, like, out of obligation versus desire to do so. So, as of now, I actually am in a relationship with a female, and I don't think I've ever been as as happy. This isn't the original female that everything kind of, like, started with, and this video is kind of going to be short. I'm not going to give you, like, the entire story, but I can make other videos and kind of break it down if you want to know. But it's one of the freaking, like, happiest things that's ever happened to me. Like, I felt like myself, like, I'm just free at this very moment. And at the same time, going through all of it, it was the most scary and difficult thing, because so many people, like, in my family were like, oh my god, that's disgusting, you're going to hell. Like, actually, like, about 2-3 weeks ago, my mom called me a queer, which, I just kind of have learned to just shrug it off, because I know how I used to be and how I used to feel, so, I mean, I can't really judge people for being rude. I don't appreciate it, but, I mean, we all go through different things, and I know, like, I was really, like, oh my god, gay people are so disgusting, it's so fucking gross, like, ugh, I want to throw up, like, just dumb shit. And I know, like, the whole time, like, I was still, like, in some way, like, attracted to girls, but it was just, like, it was never, like, oh, I'm that way, it was just, honestly, I just thought it was weird, to be honest. I was just kind of like, I'm not supposed to feel that way, but, you're not supposed to do a lot of shit or whatever. But I was like, that's just on the inside. Nobody sees that. The problem was I was never, like, I was always on antidepressants. I was always just, like, miserable and unhappy. And I never understood why, like, other people are getting married and having kids and are happy, which is kind of why I decided, whatever, this guy's nice, I'll get married. We'll go to church. We'll do all these things. But it was like, and I was like, when is it that you actually are happy? When is it that, we adopted a child? And I was happy on that level because I was excited to be a parent, but it was just like, when you get to that, you're a happy family kind of thing, and I realized it was because I wasn't with the right person. It was that simple the whole time. I just didn't realize it. But sorry if this video is kind of spacey or I'm kind of out of it. Like, it has been a really, really long time since I made a video, and I look like shit. But I don't know, this was just something that was on my mind, and I kind of had like a few conversations like recently that just, I don't know, a lot of people don't understand, like, because even my mom, she's like, why do you want to put it in everybody's face? Like, why do you want to put it out there? It's not that I want to put it in anyone's face, and I don't want to, like, be like, hey, if this offends you, well, whatever. I'm not really that type of person, but I also don't want to have to edit myself or not feel like I can be who I am comfortable with as myself because of other people. It's more finding balance where I'm not trying to put it in anyone's face, but I'm also trying to just live my life and feel like I'm okay with how my life is and how I feel and things on my side. But maybe, I try to be as respectful as possible, just because I feel like there's no point in being like, okay, well, if you're going to be hateful towards me, I'm going to be hateful back, because I feel like that's not going to accomplish anything. That's not going to get me anywhere, and that's not going to make a difference, to be honest. It's just going to be like, see, they're assholes, because look at, she just said this to me. I just want to live my life and be happy. That's really all I want.